Hi, boys and girls. This is Miss Ivory. I'm a 4th grade teacher from Calder Road Elementary. Thank you for hanging out with me as we learn and navigate through how to add and subtract fractions. We will be representing and solving addition and subtraction of fractions with equal denominators using objects and pictorial models that build to the number line and properties of operation. Let's think about these questions as we proceed through this lesson. How can you add and subtract fractions with like denominators using models? How can you add and subtract fractions using the properties of operations? So let's think about those things as we continue to navigate through this. Will you read this with me, boys and girls? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I wonder how to represent addition and subtraction of fractions with equal denominators. Good job. How might we see addition and subtraction of fractions represented? Well, we might see them in a word problem or as an expression, an equation, a verbal description, or as a diagram or image. Here are some examples. This top example here is a stimulus representing a diagram or model. So I want you to think about what type of questions you could think of using this model. This model right here, in this box here, is a verbal description. And then right here in this bottom box is a word problem. So these are 3 examples of how we might represent some of our word fractions. Excuse me. Let's discuss vocabulary. Okay, this one here, sum. You've been very familiar with this. This is one of the first operations you ever learned in your math career. Sum is when is the answer to an addition problem. We join things together, we combine. Difference is to subtract. It is the answer to subtraction. It's when we take away, break apart. Numerator. The numerator is the amount that we're considering, and that is the top number above the fraction bar. And then your denominator tells you how many are in the whole. How many does it take to make the whole? It also tells you the size of each of your unit fractions. Mixed number. Mixed number is when you have a whole number and then part of a whole. So whole number fraction, it's mixed. And then down here at the bottom, an improper fraction. An improper fraction is a number that is greater than 1 whole. And you'll notice that the numerator is greater than your denominator. So keep those words in mind. Okay, let's practice, boys and girls. This first example is a simple addition problem using a model. And I'm going to show you some strategies that you can take. And what I do today, you might be able to make it your own. And then the second model is using the number line. So we're going to switch over to the ladybug camera. And I've got my tools, I've got my highlighters, and I've got my, pretend that's a pencil, because we use pencils in math, but I'm going to use this marker. All right, so our fraction is, or our equation is 3/5 plus 2/5 equals. Notice that your denominator is equal. All right, and your numerators, again, tells us the amount that we're considering. So we're not changing the size, we're changing the amount. Okay? So, I'm going to take my yellow highlighter and I'm going to use this first model to represent 3/5. So let's shade 3 out of 5. And so I'm just going to start with this one and I'm going to shade 1, 2, 3. And my next favorite color, I'm going to use a pink highlighter and we're going to use this fraction, 2 out of 5, 2/5. And we're going to shade this model to represent 2/5. 1, 2. So if we were to combine those, because that's what this symbol is telling us, we're joining those together, and this symbol is our equal sign. So if we combine this to this, what do we get, boys and girls? Well, let's shade that in. I'm going to shade in my 3/5 in yellow and my 2/5 with pink, my pink highlighter. And what has happened? We can see that we have 5/5. All right, so what I tell my boys and girls to do is to circle what we are actually adding. So we are adding up the numerators because the denominator, the size, is not changing. So 3/5 plus 2/5 equals 5/5. All right, what do we know about 5/5? If you look at your visual right here, your model, you can see that the whole thing is shaded 5 out of 5. So we have 5 pieces out of 5. So that is also equivalent to 1 whole. All right, good job. All right, so again, this is just one way to do something. And again, you can take it further or do what you need to make it your own. Here we have a subtraction problem. 6/7 minus equals 2/7. So we have something missing here that we need to solve for. So we have the total. We started off with 6/7, and after we took some away, we have 2/7 left. So we're going to use a number line to solve this problem. All right, here's our number line, and it starts at 0. We have 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, 4/7, 5/7, 6/7, 7/7, which is equal to 1 whole. So we are going to start at 6/7. So this is where we're starting, right here where this arrow is, 6/7. And we're going to take away and that will give us 2/7. So what do you think we should do? All right, now I know in 2nd grade they use a number line to subtract. So we're going to do that. We're going to take away, I don't know how many 7ths until we get to 2/7, right? So we're going to hop that count with me. 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, 4/7. And where did we stop? At 2/7. So we know that from here to here is 4/7. So we can say, therefore, 6/7 minus 4/7 is equal to 2/7. All right, let's go back to this next activity or question. Oh, here we go. Okay. Pizza. We always connect pizza and fractions, but you know what? Fractions are everywhere, not just pizza. But this just happens to be the question that I found, and it was about pizza, so hopefully you like pizza too. Candace had 3 1/8 pizzas to share with her friends after school. Before her friends got to her house, her brother ate 6/8 of one of the pizzas. So how many pizzas were left for Lisa and her friends? My brother, he must have been hungry. He ate a lot of pizza. So we got to figure out how much is left. So let's think about what's happening in the story. We know that 3 1/8 represents the total amount of pizza. And the 6/8, what's happening to it? Her brother is, yeah, so it's going away. So what operation would that be? Would it be addition or subtraction? I hope you said subtraction. It's going away. Okay, so I am going to show you 2 ways to do this. All right, so I've transferred to the overhead. So we know that 3 1/8 pizza, this represents our total. I'm sorry, boys and girls, you can't see that. We're just going to do it like that. 3 1/8 represents our total. And we know that 6/8 is going to be taken away. And we need to figure out how many pizzas were left. So we've already discussed this and decided that this is subtraction. So we are going to write an equation. So we're going to put our total first, 3 1/8 minus 6/8. Okay, so I've written it horizontal, but you can also write it vertically like this, boys and girls, and subtract. Just like regular whole number subtraction, we can see that we cannot take 6/8 away from 1/8 because 6/8 is a greater number than 1/8. So you're going to have to do some regrouping. So let me show you a way that you can regroup using a model. I'm going to draw a picture. So remember, this is what we started off with. This is our total. So I'm going to draw 3 1/8 strip diagram bars. Or I'm sorry, fraction bars. Okay, so here is my first one. And remember, this is a whole pizza here because we have 3 holes. Here's my second one. And here's my third one. Okay, and then we have another one, but we don't have the whole. We only have 1/8. So I'm going to turn this into 8 pieces, okay? So we are going to shade this in because that's how much pizza we have. Now, what did her brother do? Her brother ate 6/8. So we're going to take away 6/8. Now, I can only take away 1/8 so far because this is a whole. So I'm going to regroup this whole into unit fractions. So we know that our denominator is 8, so we are going to divide this and make it 8 equal parts. Now, we can take away our 6/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. So what do we have left over? How many pizzas do we have? We have 1 whole, 2 holes, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So this represents 3/8, and this is 2 3/8. All right. So there are 2 3/8 pizza left. This is what's called a mixed number. Now, what happens if your answer choices, you look down, and there's no mixed number? It's not there. It's an improper fraction. How are we going to take this and turn it into an improper fraction? Now, let's do that. So we know that 2 3/8 is equal to, let's change these to a whole fraction. So we know that this right here is equal to 8/8 plus 8/8 plus 3/8. So now we're going to do what? We're going to add the amount that we have, which is your numerator. 8 plus 8 plus 3 is 16 plus 3 is 19 eighths. There you go. You did it. So continue to practice. Remember, pictures can help you. It's just one way. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for learning with me.